Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to bandage a chicken foot with a pool noodle for a little shoe to help relieve some of the pressure on the bottom of that foot. Bumblefoot is really common in backyard fowl. A lot of times it can be related to perching surfaces and cleanliness. So of course you want to make sure that your coop and your area are clean, that you're removing debris from their perches, and that you have different sizes and textures of perching surfaces available. So the first thing you want to do is have all of your supplies on hand. Our chicken is gently restrained here in a towel. She's on her side with her little feet sticking out, and you can see she's actually very calm here. When they can't see, they're quite calm and compliant with treatments. We have bandaging materials. We have a little bit of Manuka honey, which I like to put on these wounds. And we have a little section of pool noodle that we have cut to size to fit our chicken foot. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to clean the foot. So right here, this is actually a very mild sore. You can see there's a little bit of scab and some puffiness on the base of this foot. So I'm just using a disinfectant to clean the area. And then wipe as much dirt and debris off of the foot as possible. Clean is important, but actually dry is more important than clean. So if you have a heavy rain or something and you are allowing your chicken free range, then you absolutely want to change this bandage immediately if it gets wet. Okay. Can you hold her ankle right there for me? Yep, you can come outside the towel. Yep, right there. Great. Obviously, it is helpful to have a second person. It is possible if you sort of tucked her under your arm to get this done by yourself, but much easier with two people. Okay. So we have everything together in there. Because there's a scab and not just the swelling, I am going to put a little Telfa pad or non-adherent dressing with some honey directly on that wound. And this is purified medical grade Manuka honey that is designed to be used on wounds. Okay. Put that over the base of the foot. And then I'm using what this is called cast padding. It's 2-inch. If you can get 1-inch, that's actually better. But sometimes you have to work with the sizes that you have. And you essentially want to work with doing a figure 8 bandage and going in and around the toes. Just to get a little bit of padding. And you want those toes to actually be spread out. So that's going to help bear the weight evenly. Okay. And then we're going to put our little shoe right in the bottom here, and you can see how the center of that is really going to help take the pressure off of the bottom of that foot and the wound. Doesn't matter where the split in the pool noodle goes, but it seems convenient to go right around that back claw there. And then I have some 1-inch gauze. I'm actually going to start a little higher up on the foot. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to wrap too hard. So essentially, I will lay the bandage and then ever so slightly tighten it. Okay? So I'm just laying the bandage and then tightening. Lay the bandage and then a little tug to tighten.
So if we make this too tight, we'll cut off the circulation to her toes, but they will be left out so you can check and make sure that they're warm, that they've got function, that sort of thing. Okay, now that we're down here, we can start to wrap around. Now, this pool noodle will compress over the course of the next week or so, and so you will have to, oops, see, sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. You will have to change these bandages about every 5 to 7 days. But the good news is pool noodles are generally cheap and you can get them online. So you just want to keep going now with a figure 8. And these girls will look really funny when you first get their little shoes done, and they'll sort of high step around until they get used to their high heels, and then they actually adjust quite nicely. Every once in a while, making a wrap around the ankle, and then making sure I'm going in between different toes each time and wrapping things in different ways. And changing direction, wrapping the other direction. And again, the whole point is to just cover this and completely get it adhered to the bottom of her foot. And then you want a little tail that you're going to keep up here and then just gently wrap around the top of her leg. All right. Can you put your finger there for me for a second? This is actually a 1-inch tape, which is not stretchy at all. The other thing you can use is vet wrap, which is a little bit stretchier. But what I like to do with this 2-inch size is actually compress the entire cardboard, take heavy scissors and cut it down into 1-inch lengths. Since I have this pre-cut 1-inch tape, I'm going to use this. You do have to be more careful with the tape, that you don't get it too tight. You have a little bit more flexibility with the vet wrap. With this, you're going to have to be much more gentle. I'm really just unrolling this and laying this on her leg. And now we're going to put her leg into, a normal standing position and start to wrap that. And each time just try and cover a little spot that you hadn't covered last time. Again, sometimes just to try and keep the tape straight and to get other areas, I will reverse direction of my figure 8 around the foot. Now, another pretty controversial topic about these Bumblefoot is, should you use an antibiotic? And in general, you have to be very careful about using antibiotics in a food-producing animal because the USDA has very strict regulations because they don't want inappropriate antibiotic use to cause resistance in the human food chain. So we are very strictly regulated as to what antibiotics we're allowed to use. And if we can get away without using antibiotic and just using something like a bandaging technique, then that would be better. This has gotten a little chunky up here. It's a little bit easier, like I said, with the more flexible vet wrap, but overall this is not a bad shoe bandage. All right, and now we're gonna let our girl get up and walk around for a couple of minutes in the exam room until she gets used to her new high heels.